Kugan Cassius, IFL TV in association with MGM Marbella. We're at Camden Centre here for the Mickey Elliott Show. With me I've got Ricky Hatton, who had Anthony Upton, who made it 4-0. Impressed with his performance there, Rick?
Yeah, I was impressed with his performance. I mean, he won it, you know, no problem against a very experienced opponent. Very rarely gets stopped. Yeah, but you know, from as his coach, I mean, he boxed well. It was really comfortable. But there's still loads we can learn on. He's a very talented young man. You know, he's only had 4 pro fights. Only 22 years of age. You know what I mean? So it's all a learning curve. You know, that fella does that day in day out. You know, and he's been in with some good names. So. Yeah, I'm happy, but there's still plenty for me to work with him. Yeah.
Have you seen an improvement as each fight's gone on from Anthony?
I have, yeah. You know, he's hitting harder. When he first come to me, he was a little bit more. He was a little bit 100 mile an hour. You know, he was a good amateur. He had a very good amateur career. You know, but I think it showed in his first fights. But now he's moving a little bit more like a professional. He's holding his feet. You know, he's trying to put levers behind his punches, and so I have been improving. Well, that's that's me third fight with him. He's 22 years of age. He's a baby. You know what I mean? So it's. But yeah, I'm dead happy with it.
How does this buzz compare, Rick, the training buzz of, you know, you've got Ryan Burnett and people like Anthony Upton and that? Is it a different kind of buzz? Obviously it is. It's
a different kind of buzz. You know, it'll never be the same as actual fighting, but it's the next best thing. You know, what I used to love about the fighting was, you know, obviously you get in there, the crowd, the roar and everything, but I've always been a bit of a student of the game. Looking at little fighting when I got my opponents, I bang the videos in, sitting there with Billy and come up with a game plan, you know, and even though I'm not fighting, you know, that's what I'm doing now when I'm a trainer. You know, I get the old YouTube, I get the fights, I get the game plan working out, and it reminds me a little bit like when I was fighting. You know, the routine you have to go through. But no, every kid I train, I absolutely think the world of, to be honest with you. You know. No, it's great, you know. I mean, I get nervous for them, you know, because I think that much of them, and no, it's good. I'm enjoying it. I don't think it'll ever replace the actual fighting, but it's certainly the next best thing. Boxing gave me a wonderful life, and that's what I want to do. I want to give a wonderful life to some youngsters such as Anthony.
Where you training fighters, do you see hints of yourself in the way you implement your style and technique, and the way you train your fighters in your fighters?
A little bit, but. You know, you've got to look at a fighter's style. You know, I train, you know, on the body belt with Billy Graham, and some fighters, you know, body punches. You know what I mean? To be honest with you, I mean, I do the body belt with all my lads, but sometimes, you know, with like Anthony Upton and Sonny Upton, who are like, you know, switch hitters and boxing, and they use their ability and the speed. Sometimes they do more mitts, and sometimes they just leave the body belt. You know, so I do use a lot of my overtraining methods, but you know, you shouldn't train every single fighter the same, because every fighter is different. Just because I train that way, that was the best way of training for Ricky Hatton, doesn't mean it's the best the way to train for someone else. So that's what I've got to, you know, figure out. You know what I mean? For instance, if you've got a 6-foot featherweight, you know, 9 stone and 6'1", you don't want him whacking the body belt and, you know, jumping round, and, you know, so. Yeah, I think you've got to look at the style of the opponent, the style of the lad you're training, and work accordingly around it.
Absolutely. Just finally, Rick, obviously Floyd Mayweather has announced a rematch with Maidana on September the 13th. Was that a predictable choice for Floyd?
I think you know, I think Floyd will be happy with his performance, to be honest with you. You know, it's a fight where most, including myself, saw it as it was going to be a bit of a shutout, to be honest with you, and it wasn't. Maidana gave him a really good fight, and I don't think Floyd will be satisfied with his performance, and hence the rematch. I think maybe Floyd just took him a little bit lightly, you know, to be honest. He's been involved in so many big mega fights, you know, De La Hoya, Alvarez, and, you know, and mine, I guess, which was a big occasion, stuff like that. Maybe if saw Maidana as a bit of a stepping stone defence, you know, a biding time defence, and sometimes, you know, those are the ones that you're struggling, the ones that you can't get up for. You know, he's been in so many big fights. You know, in comparison, no disrespect to Maidana, that probably was. He probably just took his foot off the gas a little bit too much, and I think he'll want to put it right, hence having the rematch.
And Manny Pacquiao's supposedly fighting Chris ALGIERI, who beat Ruslan Provodnikov. What do you think of that fight?
Yeah, it's going to be a good fight. You know, Manny's bit by bit, you know, it was a crushing knockout defeat, and you know, any knockout defeat, he's always tough to come back for as a fighter. I know when I got knocked out by Floyd Mayweather the first time, every time Juan Lascano hit me, I felt like he was going to knock me out, to be honest with you. So, you know, he needs a little bit of time to get your confidence back, and I think he's getting his confidence back bit by bit. And slowly, bit by bit, coming back to near his best form. It's a shame, really, because I think, I don't know, maybe you know, Mayweather's not had too many off nights before, but you know, he had one the other night, so we'll give him that. But maybe if the signs out Mayweather's coming to the end of his, and he's, you know, he's past his best, and Manny's past his best, if the fight happens, it'll still be a mega fight, a super fight. But I'd have liked to have seen them when they were both red hot.
Absolutely. All right, thank you very much, Ricky Hatton.